A major meeting and announcement coming here in 7 days to Americans, and it will affect everybody here. And I'll give you the details of it here in this video. That's right, we're going to jump right in here because this is going to be very big. And yet again, all Americans, well, pretty much all Americans, I'll let you know here, the details of it here are going to be affected. That's right here. So let's jump right in. I'll give you the details of this here and more in this video. Thanks so much for liking and sharing these videos. Here we go. The Fed's new challenge, stay on the gas or tap the brakes. Yeah, that's right here. The Federal Reserve and the head of the Fed, Jerome Powell, are going to be meeting here again to decide your fate, basically, and to decide how much money they're going to cost you. Well, that's right. This guy right here, Jerome Powell, is going to decide how much money it's going to cost you and out of your pocketbook. That's right. That's because they're going to be raising interest rates here yet again, and it will directly affect you more than likely. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And the question here is how much will they raise interest rates here? They're probably going to be raising interest rates again another 1/4% or 0.5%. And then they're expected to raise interest rates again after this interest rate hike. And every time they do this, it raises interest rates on credit cards, on mortgages that aren't fixed. Anybody that goes to buy a new mortgage or has a variable rate mortgage, anybody that goes to buy a new car, to lease a new car, or goes to buy a used car, or goes to get a personal loan or borrow money, which basically a credit card is actually borrowing money. Most people don't really think of it that way. And if you have any money already currently on a credit card balance, that can go up. And those have been going up here already. Take a look at this. Yeah, I found this very useful graph here from LendingTree. Average interest rates on new credit card offers in the U.S. So this kind of gives an average here on basically the average of credit cards. So let me zoom this in here as much as possible. So the average APR, which is annual percentage rate, which is basically the interest you pay every single year on credit card interest, you can see here is 23.39% per the what LendingTree has on their interest. Now, previously we had another average from another company with that was about 20%, and they're about 20% here on the minimum APR. So they have minimum APR and maximum APR. And again, think of APR as interest percentage, right? But you can see here there's a minimum and a maximum, okay? And you can see an average here at 23.39%. So that's very interesting. Also, it's interesting to note here that the interest has been going up here on month per month here. So the previous month, it went up about 0.4% just from the last month. Just in 1 month, the average credit card went up 0.4%, almost 0.5% in 1 month. Yeah, very, very expensive here. And basically what they're saying here is if you have really good credit now, the average APR you can expect to be offered on a new credit card is about 19.88%. If you have really crummy credit, as this article says, the average APR offered is 26.89%. That's a big difference. Now, that doesn't mean you can't get lower or higher. These are just the averages. These are just the averages. If you want to, you can comment down below what your percentages are, or what company has offered you a particular percent in the mail or anything along those lines if you want to. You could say, hey, this company offered me a percentage and I turned it down or anything like that. Of course, don't, say any personal information or anything like that in the comment section. The good news is that the average FICO score of Americans in 2021 was 714, according to Experian, a record high. Now, note that I believe the new high score used to be 750. It's now 850 as they have changed the scale of their scoring system. That means that most Americans may be more likely to qualify for a lower interest rate. However, though, say you owe $5,000 on a card and you pay $250 a month with an interest rate of almost 27%, you will pay $1,532 in interest and take 27 months to pay it off. And that's with only $5,000 in interest. You would pay $1,532 in interest. Yeah, so that gives you an idea of how much interest you pay and how long it would pay. And that's how the old saying of the rich get rich and the poor get poor, the poor stay poor and the rich get richer, because the rich don't pay interest on credit cards. They actually pay, they just pay their payments off every month and they actually get rewards for doing that. Yeah. Lower the rate to 19.88%, or basically about 20%, and you'll pay just $1,000 in interest, or $1,012, and take 25 months to pay it off. So you can see the difference there. On the same $5,000, you would actually pay $500 less in interest, $520 less in interest, from going from about 27% interest rate to a 20% interest rate for round numbers. You can see the actual percentages there. That's why these interest rates matter. That's a savings of $520 in interest and 2 months in payoff time. And these are why interest rates matter so much, because, well, tens of millions, maybe even hundreds of millions of Americans have credit card interest rates, and the Fed is going to be raising interest rates here yet again. And when they do that, credit card interest or credit card companies raise interest rates. And in just a mere matter of days, on January 31st and February 1st is the Fed's meeting, and they will be announcing the next interest rate hike. Yeah, so they are expected to raise interest rates here yet again, and I will keep you up to date here on that and let you know how much it's going to be. If they're going to do it at all, how much it's going to be, and what they say about going forward, if they plan to raise interest rates more in the future, if they plan to stop, or if they don't plan to raise them at all. Remember that we do have unemployment right now at a 50-year low. Take a look here. You don't have to take my word for it. Okay, you can see the unemployment rate here for the entire country. And you can see historically it averaged anywhere from about 6%. And, when we had the Great Recession, which was in 2009, 2010, we went up to 9%, 10%. That was when the mortgage crisis hit. And we had a lot of foreclosures, and all that stuff hit, the subprime mortgage crisis, and that took, well, several years to recover. I mean, look how long it took to recover here. I mean, we had 8, 9, 10% unemployment rate, and it literally took years to recover, right? Well, when the pandemic hit, we went to 14.7% unemployment rate and really recovered pretty quickly. I mean, by November of 2020, we were down to 6.7%. And by July 2021, we were down to 5.4%. And December 2021, we were down to 3.9% already. Drastic, quick recovery, to be honest, at least in the unemployment rate department. We're now at 3.5%, which is, on this graph, which is a 20-year graph, it's the lowest it has ever been. And in fact, it's about the lowest it's ever been in 50 years. in the unemployment rate category at least. Now, on the other hand, the problem is that we also just recently hit the high in inflation for a 41 to 42-year high, going back all the way to 1981, which is actually when I was born. So I'll be 42 in February. So on February 23rd. Yeah. So that's kind of the problem with the checks and balances there of our economy. And so we actually were at like 9% over the summer. And we actually kind of hit the high around when they calculated the Social Security raise. Remember, they calculate that with on a 3-month average. They calculated that that happens over Q3 every year, and those 3 months happened to be right when they calculated it. So it was actually pretty good for Social Security, because if they calculated it in the beginning of the year or in the end of the year, Social Security would not have gotten as large of a raise. So it actually worked out perfectly for the largest Social Security raise in 41 years and the 4th largest Social Security raise ever, and then went down. So we got an 8.7% raise for Social Security. That's locked in and will be an 8.7% raise basically every month here from here on out forever in perpetuity, because you'll get that 8.7% raise every month forever. And now the last inflation rating was down to 6.5%. So we've seen gas come down, we've seen car prices come down, we've seen home prices come down, but we've seen interest rates soar up, and we have not seen food prices come down. So this is why our economy is in a bit of a pandemic itself, so to say. And I'll keep up to date here, because we're now going to have a big announcement from the Fed on what they're going to do here with interest rates here yet again. And then also we might find out what they're going to do here with the next interest rate decision. And again, this affects everybody's finances here. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country and our economy on a daily basis. So if you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon so you don't miss out on new videos. New videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also thanks for hitting the like button for us. And if you want to, share these videos with anybody that needs to know this, and I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here. Here is some videos that you can watch next. Here's some big changes from the IRS that could put more money in your pocket. Or click this video for new $1,000 and $1,500 checks coming out. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.